Alright, guys. Welcome back to How to Speedrun Final Fantasy VII. It's gonna be part 5, where we'll be invading the Shinra building, and we'll also be going over topics such as ATB weight tricking, as well as the password manipulation in the bookcase room. You know, I've been really appreciating all the awesome feedback you guys have been giving me on these tutorial videos. Glad you guys have been enjoying them, and hope you guys enjoyed this one. And if you guys have been enjoying them, don't forget to rate the video and subscribe to the channel for more. See you guys. Bye. Alrighty, Shinra building. The current step manipulation that we're doing accounts for going to the stairs. Alright, so with the stairs, now the only real important thing about the stairs is that you grab the elixir. There is a visual cue that I use to know that I am on the right screen. It's the one that begins with "Are we there yet?" So yeah, this one. The first dialogue box is "Are we there yet?" So if you've seen that, you know that there's an elixir. Don't forget to grab that before the loading zone. There is a backup elixir in Cosmo Canyon if you forget it. Because, yeah, we're going to hold on to this elixir all the way until Cosmo Canyon. But if you happen to forget it, there is a backup one that I will bring up when we get there. But alrighty, so we made it to the top. And we are going to be opening the menu and changing the ATB to wait for the first time. And this is going to help us on the next fight. Also, we are going to position Tifa and Barret in the back row. And you do this by going into the order menu and double selecting a character. This will allow Tifa and Barret to take 50% less damage. It will also make it so their physical attacks do less damage. But luckily, we are going to be throwing grenades, which will be unaffected by which row you're in. So we are just going to be saving damage. Keep Cloud in the front row because we kind of want Bravers. So, and we want to be boosting the limit break continually. Also, he's received health refreshes, so we don't really need to worry about back row and Cloud. Tifa and Barret, though, we need to preserve their HP. You know, Tifa's not doing so hot right now. But, alright, so you want to move down here. This will make it so this fight starts a little bit faster if you move down. Alright, so this fight, what you're going to want to do is, because we're on ATB weight, it will allow us to shorten the amount of turns that the enemies will get here. And this is because once you break their armor, it is actually going to reset their time gauge. So what we want to do is, if we see enemies that haven't gotten a first turn, we want to prioritize targeting those ones first so that we can try to limit the amount of turns that these enemies will end up getting. So right out the gate, I always go for an insta-Q on the first one, unless if I see it already doing a move. So since I see, you know, since I saw this guy moving, I selected this one to try to beat this guy to getting his turn so that we can reset his ATB bar and then control it so he gets no turns for the rest of the fight. The Cloud was successful in cutting this guy's turn, so we're just gonna hold an insta-Q. Unfortunately, we weren't able to, you know, cut the turn of the second guard, but that was okay. And then you just need to follow the turn order that you took. So again, you prioritize the ones that have not done their move. You have each character target the same one twice. And just like that, we have limited the amounts of turns. If done correctly, nobody gets a turn once you have broken their armor. But alright, so you get the key card after doing this fight. What some runners like to do here is they will go to ATB active because you get 2 random encounters from now until the next boss fight. But honestly, before that boss fight, you're going to be changing it to ATB weight again. But I don't see the point in menuing twice when you have just 2 random encounters that you can quick escape from anyways on ATB weight. So I personally don't change the ATB weight or ATB active here, but if you find yourself not quick escaping from the encounters, you might want to change it to active if you think it works better for you. For me personally, I believe that I like just keeping it on ATB weight. You're gonna want to go to floor 60 here, and you're gonna want to try to move and do the action button so that the characters spawn outside of you. And then you're gonna want to talk to Barret once and then Tifa once. Alrighty, the guards minigame. There's a couple different strats you can do here. I'm going to show you the most advanced one first. So right out the gate, you want to try to clear this with Cloud, with this first movement here. Like that. And then you're going to move Barrett through. And now this is kind of the second hard part. The first hard part was the first movement with Cloud. And this is the second hard part. What you're going to be doing is you are going to see these guys move one time once Tifa has like moved here. But what you want to do is you're going to look at these guys. And once these guys on the right here switch and they begin to lock themselves in place, that is your cue to just mash circle. And if done correctly, you can one cycle Tifa over. That's going to look like this. Again, those guys move, and then here. And just like that, we have one cycle Tifa in, and then you can clear both of them with Cloud there and begin moving Barrett forward. Gets Barrett in there really fast. And then Tifa. Yeah, final Tifa, you just got to do 3 times. Get her through, just like that. In terms of, like, other ways you can sort of, you know, make this a little bit easier, but still save time. I believe people... Yeah, so this is one. You'll inch up to here and then just run straight across there. But then you also have to wait for Barrett. Yeah, so, like, this is what happens if you sort of, like, you know, slow down the cycle. You really have to wait for everything. Yeah, so you can really tell the difference in strats. All right, so let's do the fast strat one more time. Clear that. Gonna rush Barrett through. And then again, we're gonna wait for our visual cue with the soldiers on the right when they lock in place. Mash through, and then we're gonna get Cloud in one sweep, bring Barrett through. Okay. Easy peasy. That's now floor 61. Just nice and easy. You're gonna rush over, talk to this guy. You're gonna do second option here, and it gets you the key card. And then you're not gonna use the elevator. Go straight up here, and then honestly, there's 2 ways you can do this next room. You know, it's this bookcase room with the password, and the password is one of 4 things. It's either best, bomb, Mako, or king. And that is set upon the moment you enter this room. And there's a resource on speedrun.com that allows you to input... You can input your in-game time right before you enter in the zone. And that will spit out what password you have. So it is based on in-game time. Personally, I like to just check the bookcase. And the bookcase you're going to look for is right here. It's like this one right here. If I could look at it. I hope you know which one I'm talking about. This corner one right here. And so it's results. So I personally have my own sort of mnemonic devices that allow me to remember which word correlates to which password. Results is king. Breakdown is bomb. Economic is best. And new is Mako. New plans for urban planning. But since we got results, it is going to be king. And so you're probably going to want like a cheat sheet or something, you know, that allows you to, you know, quickly remember the password. Or you can just, you know, come up with funny little ways to remember each password. All right, so since we got results, it's king. And what do you know? We got a first try. And that is very imperative because we need the elemental materia. If you don't have the elemental materia, you can't do the speed run. All right, you're gonna go to the elevators. Make sure you enter this left one. And that is because step count is going to be live on the next screen. We go all the way to floor 65. All right, and from here, you're gonna go to this box. It's very important you go to this box. Oh, come on. So yeah, this is sort of the trade-off sometimes on ATB wait. Sometimes the encounters can be punishing to run away from, but other times they can still just be just as fast as being on ATB active. And like I said, I personally don't like to waste the menu time. But so upon entering this room, just like that, you're gonna place it within the first one. And this is gonna allow you to go to the boxes in any order. If you kind of start this room off differently, it is gonna lock off boxes from you. So, very important, you put the first one that I showed in the correct slot. Then from here, you're just gonna go to every box as per usual. Yep, second fight right there, right after the second box. Did I say the second box? I meant the last box. All right, so once you have completed the diorama, you're gonna exit and get the key card. Go upstairs, go into the bathroom. From here, it's just dialogue again. All right, so right here, when you get the Hojo cutscene, there are these NPCs that can kind of get in your way. It is RNG, but yeah, just try to maneuver around them. But typically, they're not a problem, but very rarely they can get in your way. All right, so I should note that on the prior screen, step count was not active. Here on floor 67, though, step count is active, so you do want to be careful. Okay, Genova time. All right, so after you meet Genova, gonna go over here and use the box. And at this point, if you changed it to ATB active, this is the point where you want to change it back to ATB wait. Also, in the encounters, you want to be paying attention to Tifa's HP. And if she is really low, like, I'd say around like 60 to like 80, you know, like even if she's like at 70, I personally won't open the menu to potion her. But you might want to use the one potion that you have. Should also note, this tranquilizer can drop against the 3 red guard fight that you did after the stairs, which would slot itself right there. But yeah, you can use this potion, but honestly, I like to keep the potion in there for my inventory arrangement, so I will risk it with Tifa. But starting out, you might want to potion Tifa, but I do not. And we are still on ATB wait, so we are going to proceed through. All right, and more dialogue. All right, so from here, there's this really long dialogue box. Like, this dialogue box sticks out compared to the rest of them. That's sort of like a visual cue where after you delete this one, it's going to be one click and then bottom option, because you're going to have Barrett leave. And then limit the name. Okay, so this fight, we are on ATB wait. And this is the first time we are going to be doing what's called ATB wait tricking. No, we did use ATB wait in the guards fight, but not really to this extent. So what we're going to do here is, we actually have really nice starting ATBs. We are going to queue 2 of these turns in, and then we are going to open the menu and hold that grenade cursor. Like, we're not going to confirm the grenade, but we are going to hold that menu open, which is going to hold time and place. So I'll get to that point, and I'll let you guys know what's happening. So, grenade, 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 and then hold. So I'm holding. I press square to hide the menu, but we are holding here with Tifa. But what you're aiming to do here is, since you have the menu open, time is frozen in place, and you want to maximize the amount of time you're gaining, and you want to minimize the amount of time your opponent's gaining. So what you do is, you have queued in 2 moves here, and you're going to wait for those 2 moves to play out. Because once those moves play out, the bar is going to empty itself. Which, once you confirm the attack with Tifa, time opens itself, and both of these characters are gaining time, whereas if you just willy-nilly just queued things through, they're gonna pause, and each character is gonna be, you know, not gaining time efficiently or together. You want to be gaining time as a group to minimize just leaving time open for the enemy to be gaining time. So again, let it play out. Let the enemies play out. Again, you Q2 and you wait. Because if you have an instance like this maybe, where Cloud is most certainly not getting a first turn. Like, there is no way in hell he is getting a first turn. You want to queue this in a way that you get these out of the way very fast, so you secure these first turns, but you want to allow enough time to let Cloud's ATB bar go all the way without you stopping it. Because if you can queue his limit break, his turn will take priority over all the other enemy turns. So let's see if I can do that. Okay, so what you want to do, you would Q1, then the limit break, and then hold time with Tifa. That is what you would do. If you have a limit break with Cloud, you want the limit break to be second, so you're able to still hold time. It's unfortunate when Sample misses Shady Breath because it has a chance of doing it again, and it's the most lengthy move that can happen in this fight. Again, you just want to hold the time when it's instantly available, and then wait until your turns have gone through so it clears the time bar, and then you hold time again. You know, Sample's a pretty easy fight. Pretty easy to control you sometimes, but usually it's fine. Alright, so from here, you're gonna grab this enemy skill, then run off screen. Step count is live, by the way, so you gotta be careful. You're gonna open the menu here. Gonna go to config. Gonna change it back to ATB active so it's easier to run away from fights. Also, the next boss fights are gonna be on HB active anyways. We're not gonna be HB waiting for any boss fights coming up. So, HB active, and then from here, you're gonna put red in the back row. Just gonna back row red. We still want Bravers with Cloud, so gonna keep him in front row. Here we're gonna go. Gonna be getting a random encounter on the way out, somewhere around in this bottom hallway area, like right here. Yeah, that visual cue is kind of nice with that awning, like that doorway. It's okay if you're a little bit before it or a little bit after it, but you just want to kind of be near it, sort of. Just gonna continue to run, gonna go in the elevator. And from here, it's just dialogue. All right, so at this part right here in the jail, you're gonna run up to the door, and it's very important. You're gonna select the third option, because if you select these ones, you get very lengthy scenes. Yeah, you're gonna wonder how Aerith's doing. You're gonna talk, and you're gonna wait until a certain dialogue box. When she says... I thought I would stop hearing her voice as I grew up, but like this is the last dialogue box of the sequence. From here, you run up and it already has you on the third option that says, let's get some sleep. So you run to the door and just confirm. And instantly go outside, talk to the body, talk to Tifa, talk to Tifa. It's very important you talk to Tifa, not the body. Because if you talk to the body again, it's not going to progress the story. You're going to talk to Barrett. There is a very rare glitch that can happen here that I'm not even going to be able to replicate for you. And what it allows you to do is when you talk to Barrett here, you still have movement of Cloud, and you can instantly go and talk to Tifa. I don't know what makes this happen. It's only happened to me maybe like 3 times in my entire running of this game. But you can retain movement of Cloud sometimes and then just talk to Tifa and advance the scene. It's most likely not going to happen, but keep an eye out for it, I guess. So talk to Tifa. Gonna go this way. On the next screen, you do have an ability to skip this next encounter, which would be like, oh, I guess I should bring the finger up. Yeah, it's gonna be like around this area if you got the fight where I got it, like in the doorway. Yeah, like right there. So it's fine that we didn't get it, but you can menu skip this one. It is a preemptive encounter, so it's fast anyways. So you might not even want to go for the menu skip. Yeah, just gonna continue up. Gonna continue. All right, so just dialogue. More and more dialogue. All right, so here, when you have the option to remove the materia, you're just gonna mash through. Remove. You mash through. You're gonna get a fight here, kind of like in the doorway. If you get it beforehand, it's fine. All right, so that's fine. All right, are you guys ready for one of the most difficult boss fights in the game? So this is Heli Gunner, where you're going to hold up in circle to insta-Q grenades. And from there, you're going to hold circle. It's not necessarily all you're going to do, but pretty much. So one thing that you can do is once you push into the next part of the fight, if you get an extra turn using Red or Barrett's limit break, you can actually cut one of Heli Gunner's final turns and you save a turn phase. And Eris is put to sleep. You know, it just is what it is. But yeah, so like I said, you can attempt to use the limit break in here to whether it be save grenades or if you want to, you know, if you want to save a turn. It would actually be pretty nice to be able to use a grenade or use a limit break, because we might have to do some improv strats on Motorball, but okay, perfect. So one thing also, and you're probably not even really going to be thinking about it ever, but just one thing to note is Eris actually has the slowest grenade throwing animation of the 3 people you have here. So once you push it into the spinny phase, you know you only have 2 more moves until it's dead. And so if you can avoid throwing with Aerith, you probably want to, because it's like, you save 0.3 seconds or whatever it is, you know? But just keep that in mind. The boss you can never die to. For this boss, we are going to throw a grenade on the dog immediately, and we have to hope that it does at least 140 damage. If it does not, you want to attack with Cloud. You want to attack with Cloud. So let's see. Okay. Alright, 146 is nice. And then from here, you need 4 turns on Rufus, where one of those is going to be a Braver, and you want to do generally around 70 damage with the Braver. If you don't, there is a chance you could need another turn, which you would do a normal attack so you wouldn't waste a grenade. Thing about this is Rufus can crit, and he does a lot of damage, and he can kill you. I personally do 1 Braver on this fight. Some people like to do 2 Bravers on this fight. You can also try to Braver Dark Nation, the dog, but I have way more consistency just getting the kill with the grenade, where my Bravers won't do the correct damage, you know, some of the time. We're gonna grenade. I'm gonna do my Braver, like, right now. So you can actually do the Braver last if you want, because his barrier will probably be gone by then, and then you're guaranteed to do the full damage. But the problem with that is you're not regaining any limit throughout the fight, and while generally you should always have a Braver by the time you need it, Sometimes I need an emergency braver in Motorball if I am very, very low on grenades for whatever reason. So I like to make sure that I at least have enough limit break here so that I can exit this fight and then have a limit break during Motorball. And if you have to use the elixir as an emergency for whatever reason, feel free to do so, because it's only about a 30-second time loss in Cosmo Canyon if you have to take the backup elixir. Alright, once you kill Reno here, you're going to want to open the menu and go to Equip. You're going to equip Cloud with this Mithril Armlet. You know, it allows you to have 2 extra materia slots, as well as, you know, some extra damage. Or not extra damage, extra defense. So from here, you equip it. You can press X or square. Square is always going to take you into the materia menu. X will sometimes take you into the materia menu. I think depending on if you've changed armor or anything that affects the materia slots, if you press X, it'll go into the materia menu. But you can always press square to go from materia to equip. So, equip the Mithril Armlet. Go to here. You're going to equip the very first materia that you have. Bam. You're going to go right. Second materia that you have. And then you're going to go down. And then when you open the menu, you're going to press R1, which leaves you 1 space from lightning. So again, you're right here. You have your cursor right here. R1 leaves you 1 from lightning. Put lightning here. Go left. And then scroll up to poison. Just like that. And then back row cloud. So again, it's going to be restore, ice, lightning, poison. So yeah. Equip the armor. Restore, ice, lightning, poison. Also, something that's important, like, you saw me do that. I accidentally equipped the enemy skill. I don't equip like this, because then my enemy skill is not in the spot where it normally was, and I always like to keep my menus concise. Just like that. And then back row cloud. Nice and easy.